Then I'm going to pull her away from these calves because she's just being an absolute murderer.
Oh my gosh!
Kia ora koutou, nau mai haere mai ki te tata nei. This is a response to Tangaroa from Farm4Life. He recently uploaded a video of a heifer attacking newborn calves, even its own calf. Pretty crazy stuff. He tries to use this as an example for why cows and calves are separated, to justify the breaking of that maternal bond because of this quite extreme abnormality. So we're going to listen to some of his words and I'm going to give my response.
Watch this, I'm just going to let this unfold for a second, then I'm going to pull her away from these calves because she's just being an absolute murderer.
Ooh, strong language. The first thing that I noticed and I thought was interesting was he's just sitting back and filming, allowing things to unfold. And he does this several times. And it's just funny because as animal rights activists, whistleblowers and people who, install hidden cameras or film undercover, we usually criticize. Members of the public will say, wow, I can't believe you just sat back and let that happen. So I just thought that was an interesting dynamic. When you watch this video, you kind of feel like you're watching a vegan on a farm because he uses that strong language to try and connect with people's emotion, that word murder. And it's common for people to criticize vegans and say you can't murder an animal because animals are not some ones, they are something, a lot of people would argue. But it's great to know that Tangaroa agrees with us that animals are someone and thus capable of being murdered.
And then just to show you guys how much damage a mother can cause if you don't separate the mum from the calves.
Ooh, if you don't separate the mum from the calves, they're going to kill their own baby. It reminds me again of narratives that vegans use. We look at a single instance of abuse on a farm and we will say, I'm vegan because every animal that is slaughtered goes through that, insert worst case scenario right here. That's exactly what Tangaroa is doing in this video. And it's hilarious because yes, he's highlighting one mother who's being aggressive. She should be separated from her calf. Or you could use methods to bond that calf with the mother. There are methods. I've been perusing the farming forums to see what people do in these situations. But also, the thing that I find the most hilarious is that in this same video, in the same very frame of what he's talking about, you can see a protective mother who's displaying the normal maternal instincts that you would naturally expect. And that is why animal lovers get so upset about this. It's the breaking of that maternal bond that these animals so obviously have. So just to highlight how incredible these animals are, as soon as the aggressive mother comes in, you see the protective mother. Her tail starts to go backwards and forwards like this. You can see it quite obviously. Her ears, she pins her ears back straight away. She puts her head low to the ground to protect that calf because of that protective mothering instinct that these animals have. And we separate them so that we can drink that milk that that mother has created with the intention of nurturing her baby. And as well, Tangaroa says this is only an issue with heifers or first-time mothers, okay? So why are we separating calves from second-time mothers? Why are we separating calves from the majority of the dairy herd? Why not just separate them from heifers if this is the case?
This is a cow in her natural habitat.
I just have to make the comment, Tangaroa talks about a natural environment. These are domesticated animals. They've only lived in the New Zealand climate for about 200 years, okay? They are living off monoculture ryegrass systems with supplementary feed and supplements mostly fueled by synthetic nitrogen fertilizer coming from fossil fuels. They're being moved from paddock to paddock. All the water that they drink is provided by humans. Everything about their existence is completely artificial. More money in science and animal testing goes into cows than any other animal in New Zealand. They have been selectively bred to have calves earlier in their life than ever before. We have manipulated these animals to no end. Now they're starting to have abnormalities where they are attacking their own calves. When you manipulate a creature to this point, you're not expecting to see abnormalities? Come on, dude.
It's a perfect example, guys, of why we separate the mums from the calves. Two beautiful, innocent calves here. We'll definitely get killed by this cow. Watch this. It's going to happen again.
Two beautiful innocent calves here, now watch as I just stand here and let this aggressive mother attack them again. Yes, Tangaroa, they are beautiful, they are innocent. Those are your words. And that is precisely why so many members of the public are upset that we send these animals by the million to their death at a slaughterhouse. They have their heads bolt gunned, their throats slit, just so we can drink their mother's milk.
I know all you townies are like, oh, bloody farmers, it's real bad and sad because they separate the calves from the mums, and this is natural, guys, alright? Naturally, this cow would go and kill both of those calves, okay? We got this.
I've spoken to two vets. One of them has been a dairy farmer herself for many, many years, and they have never ever seen this type of behavior. I also sent a message to the Happy Cow company, you know, the company that allows the calves to stay with the mother for a few extra weeks before they get slaughtered or sent to be turned into beef cows. They've never seen it either. So what's going on? To say that it is common to the point where this is a pivotal reason to separate mothers from their calves is complete bullshit.
This happens all the time. We'll get out on a perfectly beautiful night, it's been no rain, nothing, and we'll have like 4 or 5 calves dead, and it's from heifers like that just lose the plot.
Happens all the time. Well, from the numbers that I last saw, the industry is still sending 1.6 million bobby calves to the slaughterhouse. Excess calves, just so we can have that milk. And the number has previously been over 2 million. Okay, many farmers are now killing their calves on farm themselves because they want that recorded number to drop. That's my opinion, it's speculation, I understand, but I have talked to farmers who say they prefer to kill the calves themselves because they don't want to put those calves through the cruelty of going on a slaughterhouse truck, of waiting in line at the slaughterhouse to be killed. So if this happens all the time, why is there still so much excess?
It's freaking sad, but you guys just don't understand, man. You don't understand what happens out here. Keep it real, eh? And make sure that you guys understand what's going on out in here in the paddocks and in the pads.
All due respect, Tangaroa, all due respect, you seem like a nice dude, but telling everybody to keep it real and that they don't understand, bro, honestly, you don't even understand yourself, and that's not a criticism for you. No one understands why this is happening. Are you able to explain to me, your listeners, your followers, the public, why this heifer is behaving like this? I don't think you can. Sure, there's plenty of theories out there, but through everyone that I've talked to, there's no one that's been able to objectively say what is causing this. I mean, come on, we've been playing God, manipulating these animals to no end. Of course these malfunctions are gonna start happening. We've gone too far. Humans fucked up again. Big surprise.
For you guys that are, I don't know, hate the dairy industry, or you might be a vegan, that are putting up all these negative comments about us separating the calves from the mum.
I just want to point out, you don't have to be vegan to understand that separating mothers from their children is wrong. You don't have to be vegan to understand that drinking breast milk after infancy or childhood is at best abnormal. You don't have to be vegan to understand the environmental degradation caused by the dairy industry. You don't have to be vegan to understand the economic instability that our country is going to face because of our reliance on this dying industry. You don't have to be vegan to understand that Fonterra, New Zealand's largest company, is completely nosediving. The dairy industry is failing this country. You don't have to be vegan to see that. But if you want to avoid the suffering, the cruelty inherent in these industries, one of the best things we can do is to go vegan. Or at the very best, dairy free. Thank you so much for watching. Ngā mihi kia koutou, ka kite anō, mā te wā.